You want public transport in your city, but you don't know how to do public transport in your city and you struggle with it. No citizens are using your public transport, so how do you fix that problem? Well, that's what we are going to do today, and I have 4 tips for you guys to solve the public transport problems. So, the first one is, what kinds of public transport are there? Well, in the base game you only get a few, and that is bus, and that is metro, and that is train, and that is a harbor or boat. It's more used for tourism, but actually people can go to other cities by boat as well. So, and plane. Plane is also more for tourism, but if you have this in your city, also people from your city will use this. Maybe not as much as the bus and metro. I really like those two, and I'm going to show you why that is. So you do have more when you have a expansion pack or a DLC pack, how it's called in City Skylines, for the more in-depth public transport like taxis and other stuff. You have more options to do public transport. But if you don't have those options and you only have the base game, then these are the options you get in the game. And I only have base game, I don't have the other DLCs. And yeah, this is how I do the public transport. So that is about what kinds of public transport there are. There are a lot more public transport ideas that you can do. But this is just for the base game players, or if you have DLC, then you can do those as well. So, 2. How to build correctly. And yes, this is really important. I see way many mistakes in the public transport, and I'm going to show you how I just do it. I'm not saying that my idea is the best, but it works for my city, and I have less cars on the road because I use this idea. And I see a whole lot of problems while people are building their public transport, and that is if they are using bus lines. You most of the time only use one bus line over your complete whole city. Don't do this. Bus lines are, well, you can do multiple of them. If you do only one bus line, there will be a lot of buses and a lot of kilometers and a lot of time that these buses need to go. And if you have more bus lanes, then the travel time will be much shorter, the kilometers will be much shorter, and people will go to their designated destinations even faster. And yes, you don't maybe not say it like that, but it is true. People are really faster on these shorter lines than when they are on really long lines. And what I do is, you see that I have 3 lines right here. Yes, I do have quite some lines. And I have this blue line that's actually quite small. It just goes on a few stops on the way. And then I have this yellow line. It also has a few stops on the way. And it all ends up here at my metro and bus station. On the big station. I will come up to that in a second as well. And then I also have another line, the purple line. This one will not go to the metro bus station, but it will go to the other side of your city. Yes, that's not how I do it. So, I have 2 lines for just smaller routes across one district on one side of your city. It's going to be only staying on one side of the city. And you can connect it up to a bigger network right here. If that is what you want to do, then you can do that. I will come up with that in a second. And you have one big line that has a halfway on half a moon of stops. And yes, it just has a few stops here and a few stops there, and then it goes over the bridge to the other side of the city. And then there as well, few stops there, half a moon, back to the other side of the city. It's just a really simple small line. And yes, it is quite big, it is a lot of kilometers, but it just only has a few stops that people, if they want to go to another side of the city and want to go to the other side of the city, then they have to use this line, and they have just a few stops to go off the bus line. And I also have right here another two lines that go through this district of a city, and it will just stop there. And they go across this whole city section. And if people get off here and want to go over this green line, they just have to cross the roads, walk alongside of this road, and just get on the bus stop. People want to walk in your city, they find it really important to walk in your city, and they will do if everything is provided for them. So if you have set it up like this, like small routes, people will definitely use the public transport. One of these two lines is going to my big transportation system as well. I believe the turquoise one is going right here. Then my metro. I use metro, and I use a few different lines of metro. You can see here that this one is a big circle. This metro is not really used quite much, but eventually it will be used a little bit more. So I sometimes have really problems with my metro lines that the one-way or the two-way one do not work, but I think that is a little bit of a glitch in the game sometimes, that on how longer I play in this game it will glitch a little bit more. I don't know for sure, but it does happen when I play for 2 hours in this game. So yeah, that's what happens to me when I do the metro system. So the metro system is one big circle, and you see it on this side of the city, and you see it on that side of the city. This one has, I believe, 4 stops. Yes, 4 stops. So this one is a little bit more used. But this one is also being used, but not as much. I need to put more stops in. I think I only have 2 or 3 stops in, and I want to do more. So then I've got 2 lines. This one, the orange one, and this green one that goes to my big metro bus system. And this place is really busy. People really want to go here. And you can also see that a lot of people are waiting here, and when the metro comes, then a lot of people will get out. You see, that's a whole lot of people, and this is just for the public transport. I built my own whole metro station system with bus in it. So you have this one here, like the metro station, sunken metro station, that you can download from the Steam Workshop without any packs that you need to have. I just didn't like that. I want to build my own, and I have done this with the Steam Workshop. I needed to download some metro stations that are just on the ground. It's just like this, on the ground, that people can access. It doesn't maybe look the most realistic part, but it does work like this. I wish I could add more, but I don't have all the packs for it that I need to have. So that's a little bit of a bummer, but it works for now. And these ones can have 2 lines on each of them. So I have 6 metro lines, and here I have 3 bus station stops. Yes, and a lot of people are waiting for here, so when they come off that metro over there, they will come all the way across to this bus stop to go to another part of the city. And this, believe it or not, is going to be the biggest metro station that I have ever built. And it's super important. So this is where all the lines will come up, and I have 2 lines that is only designated in the city itself, and 2 lines that will go out of the city and will go to this metro system. So one part goes to the other part, and people really like the system, and it really works, and a lot of people are traveling. I have 630 per week and 117 tourism per week. 31 on the metro per week, and 45 tourism on the metro per week, and that makes it 661 per week and 168 per week of tourists. Right, this is quite some numbers, and if you want these numbers, I would suggest making smaller lines in your city and doing one line where people can go over to the metro or other bus lines, like a designated area for your bus station or metro station. It just that doesn't need to be whole expensive, it doesn't need to be luxurious, it just needs to be a few lines right next to each other, and then a few bus lines next to each other, and then that's it. This one isn't even connected up yet. I have not built it yet all the way of the city, so these ones are still empty. I need to build further down or on the left side. But right on here we can also do another big metro station, and you can connect it up to there. It's what you really like for yourself. But I would suggest doing few smaller circles of bus stations, smaller circles of metro station, and then connect it up to a big circle of lines. But I would suggest begin with a smaller line, multiple lines. Even if you have 6 lines in one city area, that's fine. If it is just that small that people are willing to use those, it's fine. How bigger the line, how less people are going to use it because they don't like the bigger lines. So try to keep it small, and people are really liking that, and people want to go with your public transport, and then you will see that the traffic problems are also going a little bit more away. Then, the third tip, how to get more citizens on it. Well, as I say, you need to have these smaller lines. Well, there is not only this one, but there is another way you can have more people on the lines. People are using their cars because they have to pay for the public transport. But if I want to go to a district of mine, I want to go to policies, I can put on free public transport. And yes, public transport is really expensive, but if you have more money in your city and you do have a lot of problems, like traffic problems, then I would suggest doing free public transportation for all citizens, increased use of public transportation, and no ticket income. Yes, no ticket income, that's really a bit of a bummer, but it does help for your city for the traffic problems. So if you do have a lot, I would suggest doing this so that people will more use their public transport and will abandon the cars on the road. And yes, it does quite help. I have it turned off for now, but if I get bigger, this city bigger, and I will have a lot of more problems, I would definitely think about this option. It really works. And people really like the public transportation system though. If you have set it up quite correctly, they will even use it with spending money on the public transport. But if you really want more people to use it and you're already working on the public transportation and it is already quite good, but your traffic is not up to standards that you want, then this could be an option. Well, the last one, tip number 4, and that is about the traffic. Yes, I was just saying that the public problem in the traffic is really quite big, and you need public transportation to solve those problems. So what I just taught you on how to build those public transportation things, you should really implement those. Why? Traffic problems will get less with these options, and people are really using it. And example for tourism, they will use it. There are a lot of cars right here, but a lot of people are walking like there. And this is a big tourism area with a lot of hotels and all that sort of stuff, because they come from the metro and the bus, so it's really cool and really highly used area. but people like that area because of the quite good transportation system. And you can see that a whole lot of traffic is coming off on the big roads, but it's not actually coming off the big roads to go into the city. It's just more of big buses or just those things like the trucks are going over these big roads to come off to the smaller roads and going into your city to deliver some products to your supermarkets or commercial buildings. It is more now trucks and less just personal cars. So that's actually quite good if you have public transport set up to the right way. So that's actually quite good though. No traffic problems anymore if you have it correctly. And you can see here that a lot of people are walking and choosing to walk, even though it is raining at the moment. They use the buses and they use the metro. You can see that they just use it, or that they just got to school, public library. They just done it. And they are walking. And they are using this one, going over the big road and going down again. Well, don't mind this, but they are going here to the other public library, or they're going all the way there to this bus stop. See on how overcrowded this bus stop is? I maybe need to work on that though. It's a little bit much. But a lot of people are stopping here just to go with the public transport. So none of those people are using their cars. So that means that a lot of people are choosing to walk. And on that way, your traffic problems will solve eventually if they are using this. So if you want more tips on how to solve traffic problems, I would highly suggest watching this video right here.